Hello friends, welcome to EduTap. So today we would be discussing about the analysis of the management section for the exam held for RBI Phase 2 exam in 2017, that is on the 7th July 2017. So the points that we would be discussing is, first we would be discussing the breakup between finance and management section, then the number of questions from each topic within these finance and management part, then the marks breakup for each topic, individual analysis of each topic, that is whether the questions were tough or easy, how many questions were out of the syllabus, how many questions from within the syllabus, and how many questions were from EduTap Notes. Then we will discuss about the major insights or the strategies that you need to follow for the next year depending upon what we have been observing in the past 2 years, and then study technique, how to study for the management part. So the methodology that we have followed for analysis is, since the actual paper is not released by RBI, what we have done is we have now analyzed this paper based on the memory of the candidates or the aspirants who appeared for RBI Phase 2 this year. But this is the best memory-based analysis you will get online, because this has been made after thorough workshops with the candidates who appeared for the exam. And moreover, we are able to replicate the paper worth 94 marks out of 100 marks. Rest 6 marks worth of paper have been extrapolated or have been assumed on the same lines. Well, having said that, this analysis is memory based, but still, this is the best possible replica of phase 2 paper that is available online. We have kind of made the complete paper with as per our discussion with the aspirants who appeared for phase 2 exam, along with options, and the complete paper can be accessed at our website www.edutap.co.in. We have also made a video with the on that paper, along with mention of which all questions came from EduTap Notes, and giving the evidence of that where those things are in our notes, so that it's again should not be just an exaggeration, but the claim should be given with the proper evidence. Now, our results, we are very happy to say or announce that almost 103 students have reported successful results in phase 2 exam as of 22nd July when this video was made. By that time this video is uploaded, you will surely come to know that we have more number of people reporting successful results, and we are expecting to go this number or to increase this number by another 20 or 23. So the total number shall be 125 at least, and which is a really a proud moment for us, considering that we started only 1 year back, and for 125 candidates who enrolled in our courses and cleared phase 2 exam out of total of around 500 to 600 students who have cleared a phase 2 exam. This is really a good percentage. So almost 25 to 30% candidates who have cleared phase 2 exam were from EduTap. Now we move to what is the breakup between finance and management part as per the 2017 phase 2 exam. So the management portion contributed 45 marks worth of paper, and finance portion contributed around 55 marks worth of paper. So I think in terms of distribution it is expected. Finance always takes a lead. So the variation varies between 60-40, 55-45. So on these lines, it was an expecting thing to happen this year. Now, how did EduTap online course contributed? That how much paper came from EduTap Notes? 41 marks worth of paper out of 45 marks in finance came from EduTap Notes, and 31 marks worth of paper out of 45 marks in management again came from our notes. So that's a really huge percentage. That is around 72 marks worth of paper out of 100 came from our notes. We are not saying that those were direct questions which were from our notes, but yes, any question in the exam would not be direct that you could just take and solve it from any if you have read any book. but the concept and facts were given in our notes, and one could have easily attempted those questions. In the next slide, we will discuss only about the management section. For the finance section, there is a separate video with a detailed analysis. That video can be watched on our YouTube channel by the name EduTap, or at the end of this video, we'll also give you a link to watch the analysis for the finance part. Now, these are the main topics in the syllabus as per RBI in the management part. The first one is general management, second is leadership, third is communication, fourth is HRD, fifth is motivation, and sixth is corporate governance. So overall, our analysis would be under these heads, that how many case questions came under these heads in the management part. So this is the marks breakup for each section, or rather topic under the management syllabus. So you can see that motivation, leadership and HRD contributed around 27 marks out of 45, and then general management contributed 5 marks, corporate governance 5 marks, and then communication 3 marks. So this makes it a total of 40, and the rest 5 marks worth of paper out of 45 from management was out of syllabus, which cannot be accommodated in these topics. So we will talk no, later about those 5 marks, which topics they were from, but as of now, the 40 marks which we are talking were from these topics, the one which is on your screen. Overall, it was a pretty balanced paper, because these three topics which contributed more marks to the paper are really important topics, and these are lesser important topics. But still, corporate governance is also important. But I think 5 marks worth of paper from corporate governance is a justice to this topic. Now, how many 1 marker and 2 markers came in management part? So there were around 23 1 markers in the management, and there were 11 2 marks in the management part. Now, one point I want to emphasize is, since this is already very tough to do a memory based analysis, because it's very tough to remember each and every question and then do the analysis, but that we are able to do, and then it's even tougher to designate marks to each question, whether it was a 1 marker or a 2 marker. So that we are also doing, but the point that I want to emphasize is that there might be certain ups and downs in terms of marks. Some questions which are designated as 1 marker might be 2 markers. In some questions which are designated as 2 markers might be 1 markers in the actual exam. Because in the actual exam, there is no pattern that only easy ones are 1 marker and tough ones are 2 markers. Some easy ones are also 2 markers, and some tough ones are also 1 markers. So don't go by that. Okay. But overall, the pattern was that there was more 1 marker questions from management and lesser 2 marker questions from management. So the total questions were 34, and the marks contributed, as we said earlier, were 45. Now, what was the topic wise breakup of 1 mark and 2 marker questions? So here is the breakup. From leadership, you can see these dark blue lines that are for 1 marker questions, and light blue lines are for 2 marker questions. So leadership had 5 1 marker questions and 2 marker questions. Motivation has 4 1 marker questions and 3 2 marker questions. HRD has 2 1 marker questions, 3 2 marker questions. General management has all 1 marker questions. Corporate governance has 1 marker question, 2 marker question. Communication again had all 1 marker question and total 3 in number. And then there were certain out of syllabus questions that also we discussed in our previous slide, totaling worth 5 marks, 3 questions of 1 mark and 1 question of 2 mark. Total 4 questions. So again, I think there were no very high surprises there. Leadership, motivation, and HRD are supposed to contribute to the 2 marker questions and overall a greater weightage from these topics. So that was expected. From corporate governance also there were 2 marker questions. Overall, I think it was as per our expectations, and we are very happy to see such kind of distribution of marks, because that kinds of sets the trend, that what I mean. More questions and tougher questions coming from important topics tells you that the paper is being made in the right context. Now we start with the analysis of each topic within the management. We have 6 topics as we discussed. So we start with the analysis of communication. So there was one question of 1 mark on para language. This question was not from EduTap Notes. Then there was one question on non-verbal communication using eyes. This was a 1 marker question, and this was again not from EduTap Notes. Then there was a question on non-verbal communication of 1 mark, which was from EduTap Notes. So overall, all the questions were from syllabus or the side topics. We cannot say that they were completely out of syllabus. Though questions from on paralanguage and communication using eyes were little unusual because those are not related to the main topics you read while you are reading about the communication part. But then that is the part you expect when you go for RBI Phase 2 exam. Questions were a moderate to tough difficulty level. As we said, one question could be answered from EduTap Notes, and rest 2 were on-site topics which were outside the notes. Overall, it was as per our expectations and prediction. As last year, while doing the analysis for 2016 exam, we predicted around 2 to 5 marks worth of paper from this section. So overall, I think again that the questions were good. The marks distribution was also good. Now we come to the analysis of corporate governance sections. There were 2 questions of 2 marks on Uday Kotak committee, which was set up by SEBI, related to corporate governance issues. This question was completely from EduTap Notes. I also remember that we used to give 100 questions after every 10 days based from the current affairs part, and this question was also there. And it had a good explanation about what did Uday Kotak committee is bound to do as per SEBI. So one could have easily scored these 4 marks had the student knowledge about the Uday Kotak committee. And the second question, or the third question rather, was related to exemption from corporate governance norms, that which entity or who all are exempted from corporate governance norms. So there was one question on this for 1 mark, which was not part of our notes. So as we said, these questions on Uday Kotak committee, these questions on Uday Kotak committee were based on a recent committee formed by SEBI, so they were kind of part of current affairs. Questions can be designated as moderate to tough. 2 questions could be answered from EduTap Notes. And here we predicted around 10 marks worth of paper to come from corporate governance last year, and around 5 marks worth of paper came from this topic. So again, I think it's still a justice to this topic, though this is an important topic, but there is not much theoretical. So you can only put questions from the current affairs, and 5 marks is a good justice to this topic. Now we come to the analysis of journal management. So all the questions from this topic were of 1 mark each. There were a total of 5 questions. All the questions were kind of easy to moderate questions. All the questions were from EduTap Notes from this topic. None of the questions was outside the notes. There was one question on the definition of organization goals. Then there was one question on principle of scalar chain and related conflict. Then there was a question on MBO. Then there was a question on decision making process being a cognitive or a psychoanalytic process. Then there was a question of what is the first step in decision making. So overall, I think the questions from general management section were very easy scoring in 1 markers. The marks distribution is as per our expectations and prediction, as we predicted around 6 marks worth of paper from this section last year, and actually that has happened. Now we come to the analysis of HRD topic in the management part. From this again there were 5 questions. 3 questions were of 2 marks, and 2 questions were of 1 mark each. Mostly all the questions were from our notes except one question which is related to next step in bars. So the first question was on the full form of bars, a very easy question directly from our notes. Then there was next step in bars. This was a little tricky question. it was going deeper into what bars is meant to do. But again, I think it is a good question, no doubt about that. Then there was a question on assessment centers, again directly from our notes. Then there was a question on job analysis and job description. These are always very confusing for the candidates. Last year also there was questions on that, uh, but we have given it or explained it very lucidly in our notes, and our students could easily attempt these questions. So overall, I think the questions were of easy to moderate difficulty level. And again, the paper were as per our expectations and prediction, as we predicted around 8 to 10 marks worth of paper from this section last year. Now we come to the analysis of the leadership section. So from leadership section, there were a total of you can say 7 questions. Uh, on from participative leadership, there was one each of 1 mark and 2 mark. From transactional leadership, there was one question of 1 mark. Then there on transformational leadership, there was one each of 1 mark and 2 mark, and there were other questions of 1 mark. That is one question of 1 mark. And all the questions were from EduTap Notes. That is all could be answered if you have read our notes thoroughly. Uh, and all the 6 questions were again of easy to moderate difficulty level, not very tough questions. And again, this is as per our prediction expectation, as we predicted around 8 to 10 marks worth of paper from this section. Analysis of motivation part. From motivation part, there were around 7 questions again. Uh, from equity 3, there was one question on 2 marks. From goal setting 3, there were one question of 1 mark. On morale, there was one question of 1 mark. On self-determination theory, there was one question of 1 mark and one question of 2 mark. On aptitude, there was one question of 1 mark, and on others, there was one question of 2 marks. And overall, most of the questions could be answered from EduTap notes, though some still were outside the notes. The questions from outside the notes were basically from self-determination theory and aptitude part. The question on aptitude was based on common sense, and most of the students answered it correctly, in spite of that not being given in our notes. But yes, self-determination theory was missing in our notes, and there were 2 questions from that theory. The self-determination theory, we could not say that it's not an important theory, but it's not in the top 7 to 8 theories in motivation. So the point is, I think to make the paper tough, they are going to lesser important theories and framing questions from that. Because otherwise it would become too easy and predictable for the students to crack the exam. So overall, again, it was our the exam was as per our expectations and prediction, as we predicted around 8 to marks worth of paper from this section last year. Other questions were also kind of very basic, like the question on equity theory was very basic, was based on case study. The question on goal setting theory was also very basic, was based on kind of case study. The question on morale was little confusing. Actually, it asked about what motivates a group, or what do you mean by when the group is charged? Is it a morale or a motivation? The answer was morale, because motivation is for individual, morale is for the group. Now, how did EduTap help its students? Again, just to re-emphasize, that 31 marks worth of paper out of 45 came from EduTap Notes. Our notes helps students complete the syllabus within 2-3 months. That is in a short span of time, and that also very comprehensively and thoroughly. Our 1500 quality MCQs on the management really help students to understand and apply the concept. Remember, it's very important to learn to apply the concepts. Once you have read, you have revised. It does not mean that you are ready to go for the exam, because in the exam there would be many conceptual and confusing questions unless and until you learn to apply. Right? One is you learn to understand. The second is you learn to apply the concepts by practicing lot of MCQs. It may go into thousands, 2000s. Till the time you attempt that number of MCQs, you are not ready to go for the exam. Last but not the least, like, our students vouch for our continuous guidance over the phone and email. every student goes through a bad phase while preparing. He needs guidance, he needs support, he needs advice, he needs help, he needs motivation. And that's when we are there for you, right? Now we come to the insights part, little insights from the exam which could be helpful for you while preparing for the next year. So overall on the difficulty level of the exams, there were 12 questions contributing 14 marks, which could be designated as moderate. Then there were 14 questions contributing 19 marks, which could be designated easy, and there were 8 questions contributing 12 marks, which can be designated as tough. So overall, I think exam difficulty level could be designated as moderate or tough because most of the questions were from this category, and there were many questions which were rather very easy. So what we can say is that even if you have solved easy to moderate questions with 85% of the accuracy, and that you should be able to do, then it would have fetched you around 28 to 30 marks, and that is a really good score, guys. Out of 45, if you can minimum score 28, I mean that's good. That is really good. Then inside two on dominant sections. So this year there was no such dominant section as in last year there was HRD which contributed around 22 marks worth of paper out of around 45 to 50 marks from management. So this year they had set a very pretty balanced paper, and we are very happy to see that. Uh, and the questions which contributed most marks like motivation, leadership, and HRD were mainly important sections. But still, the point remains that one needs to cover all the topics to excel. Because even if it is a balanced paper, then you cannot afford to lose even 3 to 5 marks from one topic if you leave that topic. And the second is still you cannot be sure about the predictability, because next year they can again come back to the logic of putting 20 to 25 marks worth of paper from one topic. So that will be a really a hard hit for you if you would have not read that topic thoroughly. Inside 3 is on the out of syllabus and the side topics. So as we said earlier, there were a total of 5 marks worth of paper from out of syllabus or side topics. Uh, Total of this five marks worth of paper was called out of syllabus, and 2 marks worth of paper can be called as from side topics. So out of syllabus questions were mainly from topics such as negotiation strategy, group cohesion, emotions, and psychology. So these topics are not in the syllabus, but some of them are kind of related to the main topics like group cohesion and emotions and negotiation. But still, I mean, from these topics, there can be or cannot be questions next year. But the wise thing is to read these topics to prepare for the worst, because every mark counts. And question from side topics were from communication topic, as we discussed, on paralanguage and communication using eyes. So what becomes important is that you read all the remotely connected topics to the main topic, so that you are prepared thoroughly, and even every surprise is a kind of a cakewalk for you. Now insight 4 is that this year there were no direct questions based on cramming. This was more of a concept based paper. So though there were questions last year like who gave which theory, which were very direct questions, this year there were no such questions. So for the next year, your emphasis should be on understanding the concepts, though at the same time we should not forget to cram certain things, because you never know, they might change the pattern again next year. But overall they are moving more toward conceptual part, so emphasis should be on understanding the concepts. Insight 5 is that this year they ask questions from lesser known theories such as group cohesion, bargaining techniques, and from motivation also there were 2 questions from lesser known theory called self-determination theory. So the point is that cover all the important non-important theories or concepts for this exam. Do not leave anything that this is not important, because if questions come from that topic and you lose 4 to 5 marks, and it will be like self-killing for you. So right now you have time. Read all the topics, the important ones, the non-important ones. Okay. The sixth is give emphasis on remembering the keywords. This time many questions had confusing options, but actually they were confusing because the exam setter has played with the words, like putting the synonyms of certain words in the choices. But the answer was obviously the keyword which is actually used in that theory. So if one had read the words in the definition carefully, then there would have been no confusion. So point is, do multiple readings, note down the keywords, remember them, revise them before the exam. That is the only way you can answer questions with confusing choices. And again, I just want to emphasize that practice quality MCQs, since the exam is moving from no moving to more concept based or application based exam. You need to learn to apply the concepts, and that can only be learned if you practice quality MCQs. For management, at least you should try to attempt 1000 to 2000 MCQs, and overall you should attempt, I would say, for finance management ESI around 10,000 MCQs. Now, learning to apply the concept is an art that you need to learn, and you can learn only by practicing. Okay, so attempt quality MCQs. Thumb rule should be to spend as much amount of time on attempting and analyze MCQs as on reading the content. The insight 7 is that though the exam is predictable but still unpredictable. Now this year exam shows us that it was more on a predictable basis. Uh, like the marks distribution from each topic, the type of questions asked, and that's good to see. They are moving towards more predictable and concept-based paper, but still, the exam is still unpredictable because you never know. Next year they might change to switch to something else. So, but you need to prepare for the worst. You need to prepare for the unpredictable exam because you get only one chance in a year, right? So do not think that what we have analyzed only you have to read, study on that pattern. Yes, you have to cover all the syllabus. You have to cover all the important topics, non-important topics, out of syllabus topics, side topics. So that means you are preparing for the unpredictable exam. Okay. Insight 8 is, guys, we shared it last year also. There is vast syllabus. There is limited questions from each topic. So like you read a general management topic, it's a very vast topic, but you get only 2 to 3 questions or 4 questions worth 5 marks from that topic. You think that okay, this year I'll leave that topic, I will not invest time in that topic, and I'll leave all the questions from that topic in the exam. But that does not work. If you are leaving 4 to 5 marks worth of paper, you're doing a self-killing for you. Other people would have scored 5 marks if those would have been easy questions, and you lose 5 marks there. You are already behind them. It's very difficult to catch them then. So read all the topics in spite knowing that there would be only 4 to 5 marks or 3 marks worth of paper from that topic. You have to read thoroughly for each mark. Be patient, read every topic. Sometimes a simple reading would suffice. Insight 9, score maximum in the management section. Trust me, management section is very scoring as compared to finance section. Yes, in finance also, if you do proper practice, thorough reading, then you can score there also. But syllabus of management is pretty less with respect to finance. Though the weightage is almost same, 45 to 55 is not much of a difference. Finance section is also vast and complex, which makes it more difficult to score rather than management section. So try to score maximum in the management part. If I mean your target should at least be 37 to 38 out of 45 or 50 in the management part. Okay, and once you score good in management part, you will definitely have edge over others in the final score. Now, what should be the study technique? Most of the students ask which book should they read. Yes, you can read S.P. Robbins, L.M. Tripathi, many other books. Sorry, L.M. Prasad, and there are many other books in the market. But the question is, would you be able to answer the type of questions that are being asked in the exam by reading those books? These books are good for some basic foundation, but these books will not help you to answer all the questions that are being asked in the exam. Some questions are being asked from very lesser important theories which are not present in books. Right, and then there would be a lot of things given in these books which are unnecessary, which would be time wastage for you. So I think Google can be the best option to search each and every topic, to know about each and every theory. But then Google, you waste a lot of time when you start surfing and hopping from one side to another. Hours passes away and you see there is no output. You're still researching. You have not read anything. You do not have a structured approach. Right. So you need to learn that. And then read selectively from selected sources. There is no one source, but when you select many sources, then also you have to be very selective. And when you are reading from each of that source, then again you have to be selective. If you pick up 3 books worth 1,000 pages, you cannot read 3,000 pages on management. It shall be completely wastage of time. Ideally, you should read, I think, around 200 pages, and that should be sufficient for management. Okay. And now, EduTap has also launched this RBI Grade B 2018 program. So it's more customized than before. It's more relevant for you. As taking the exam pattern into account, we have done a lot of improvements. We have included a huge portion to help you build and apply concepts, as I have been reiterating the same in this video. And it shall be more comprehensive than before. We shall be including more side topics and out of syllabus topics to give you a complete one-stop solution for the exam. There is also a video on our YouTube channel about our offerings for the 2018 RBI Grade B course, which you can watch. Also, at the end of this video, we have given a link to our video related to offerings of RBI Grade B 2018. Now, what all we will be covering? We will be covering Phase 1 ESI, FM, English, FLTs, that is full length test and interview, as part of our comprehensive course for RBI Grade B. So nothing is left. All things will be covered. What all we are providing like it will be a full video course, an option of full video course rather. Then there would be a comprehensive notes including concept checks. By concept checks, I mean that after a certain portion of notes is covered, you will get concept checks to test your understanding, right? So that will, when you read 5-6 pages and you test your understanding, you get confidence, and that helps you to learn to apply concepts also. Then there would be summary sheets for FM, which will help you to revise and retain easily. Then there would be live sessions, one session after every 15 days, in which we shall be sharing about insights and strategies, how to read a certain topic, how to plan for the future, any updates about the exam, all these things. It shall be interactive sessions. Then we are providing worksheets for FM. Worksheets, it's a very good concept we have come up with. So you will get filling the blanks, true, false, match the columns, and MCQs for the worksheet on a particular topic. It will be very helpful to you to learn to apply the concepts. At the same time, you'll get a lot of material to practice. Then MCQs, we have divided them into two parts: basic MCQs and advanced MCQs, which shall also include case study based. So while you do case study based MCQs, you will be doing real exam time type MCQs, and the basic MCQs just give you some confidence that okay, you have read the topic, you have the complete understanding of the topic. And then there shall be regular tests after every 3 chapters, again to help you practice and learn to apply the concepts, which is I'm reiterating again and again, is very important to clear this exam. What are we are providing now in the ESI? Basically, we will be providing summary notes, videos and MCQs on economic survey, budget, reports, schemes, census, socio-economic caste census, MPR, monthly policy reviews, Yojana, India yearbook, fortnightly current affairs, which shall be again a very important part. So every 15 days we shall be sharing a document containing fortnightly current affairs along with videos and MCQs. So overall, this will be now kind of really good preparation for ESI, for which the paper is mainly coming from the current affairs or reports, schemes, etc. Now, why EduTap? We will help you to monitor your progress very frequently, and you can come to us for any advice, help, support, tips, assistance, guidance. We shall be doing that through emails. We shall be doing that through taking help from the candidates who have already cleared RBI Grade B Phase 2 last year. This year there shall be interactive sessions with them, and obviously we shall also be available for individual counseling in case you need that. Okay, last year we gave hours of counseling to our candidates. It really helps, guys. Lastly, now you must be knowing already that our mobile app is available on the Android platform, with which you can learn anywhere, anytime. That shall help you to learn on the go, in the office, while you're traveling, etc. If you have query, you can call us at 8146207241, or you can email us at learnify@gmail.com. Do not hesitate to call us. We are always available to answer your queries, irrespective of whether you are our paid subscriber or not a paid subscriber. Well, that was about the management part of the FM paper. If you want to see the analysis for the finance part of the FM paper held in 2017, you can click here. If you want to see the course offerings for the 2018 course, you can click here. And if you want to access some free sample material and 2017 memory based paper, you can sign up on our website by clicking here.